I learned to be a tech in the military. I spent 23 years off and on with the Navy. My first enlistments were Marine Recon because I was a technical package taken into hotspots to do maintenance. And one of the things that teaches you as a tech is if you don't do your job correctly, people could actually die. Hi, I'm Joe Braga from Engraver's Choice. I represent many models within the industry. I started out in 1990 after working on engravers and lasers at USS Missouri. I've been in the industry for about 35 years now. I've had positions from the CTO of OM to master distributor for the West Coast for Boss Lasers. We do not have any loyalty to manufacturers or loyalties to the customer. After I finished my contract and left, I noticed slowly but surely the OM infrastructure faded away. Most of the Chinese revenue-based lasers that are around have no US infrastructure. They will claim it, but they don't. OneLaser actually has US technicians, some of which I originally trained. They also have an infrastructure where they're all US designed. Frankly, Engraver's Choice does a lot of customer support for because it really has no customer support. My business structure is that we're mainly installation and training, and then we're technical support. And so if I align myself with a unit that is not made up to our standards, it will kill that side of my business. So we had to go away from OM because of the problems. When we install an OM for a client that's bought one, we charge twice as much to install it because we basically have to rebuild the machine from scratch. You're actually going to be doing real production. You're going to end up wearing that machine out within 3 months, and you're going to end up having to buy one of these. And then when you look at the fact that they don't have any customer support or installation and training, you're going to burn through $5,000 to $10,000 of product that you screwed up trying to get product out the door. Where with OneLaser, I don't think I've ever even had to do a beam align. We do a full quality assurance when we install them, but we haven't had to do anything to them. It's usually we get right to the point and start training the client to make money with the product. When I first seen the Cobra, the number one thing you need to look at is how light the head is. The head is very well constructed and solid. I mean, you can take it out and beat it on the wall, it's probably gonna be fine. But because it's light, means there's very little over travel when it's going at 1200 millimeters a second. One of the bad things about some of the other tubes that I've seen is they can run very fast, but you can't run their machines that fast because the power supplies can't keep up. You run at full speed, you get a very light. With the Cobra, I've seen we can maintain speed and quality at the same time. One of the big things that I've complained about with the DC glass tube manufacturers was they would give you a grid table that wasn't secure. So with the Cobra and the OneLaser, the grid table is secured. The other thing that was apparent was the electronics were super clean. All wiring was tinned and put into a shield and locked down so that you wouldn't get any cold joints. All the heat sinks were numbered, so if a wire actually fell out of something, it would be very obvious that wire 32 goes into hole 32. All the screw tights on the main board were all torqued down so you could get them loose if you had to change something, but things were not gonna vibrate loose. Very clean power coming out of the power supply, and there's a board in there that's unique to OneLaser that allows us in the future to actually make it so the blower will turn it off and on with the job should we choose. So the expandability of the unit was really quite impressive. Number one thing I like to test, because there's a reader control board that's inside of both the Cobras and the Hydras, is that has the ability to do uneven engraving. So I could laser on a part that had a focus level of 1 inch and a focus level of 1.25 inches and a focus level of 2 in different areas and run that as one job. The reason why I think it's going to be better done with the OneLaser is because of the uniqueness of the motion system and the fact if we run into something that is unique, we don't have to ask the hardware manufacturer to make any changes. We can do that ourselves internally because we design the machines here from scratch. When I'm in people's shops and I see some of the things that they messed up on, and I get a lot of, God, I wish we'd have known about you before we bought. Because I'm servicing Aeon Laser, Boss Laser, AP Laser, Thunder, etc. The number one thing that will jump out at me is They don't look at expandability. They realize they're buying it to do X, Y, Z, and somebody's gonna come to the door that wants to do something else. The biggest thing is, if you get a machine that comes in and UPS or FedEx has dropped the darn machine and you've cracked the tube, we're gonna get a tube out to you in 24 hours. I've seen competitors have to wait 3 months to get a single tube out. That's like buying a car and they don't have any tires in case you pop the tire in the parking lot. The main reason that I went over to sell OneLasers, and like I say, I do sell other products. With the technicians I have, they're all run successful businesses. They're all engravers, so it's like buying a truck from a truck driver. The trust was already there.
If you're looking for the best glass tube laser on the market today, head over to OneLaser.com and shop Cobra.